follow your manual because the
Yes.
manual does tell you this.
Yes.
It says you have two options.
Yes.
If you do dream peel, one time only. Or luminosity can be done,
Right.
3 to 5 days.
Sure.
And then it says you cannot
Yes.
apply luminosity if you did dream peel.
Right.
Like, that's it. Always read the manual. Everything is in the manual. Everything is addressed in the manual.
Absolutely.
Prep, post-care, times, everything is there.
So we have a lot of new customers finding
Yep.
our website and making purchases, and we
Yep.
just want to make sure that everybody is well informed of the
Yes.
safeties and the protocols that we have in place
Yes.
for their safety, actually.
Yes, safety and
And-
patience.
Patience.
Working up to prepping for the peel,
Yes.
doing the peel, aftercare, and that next peel not being too aggressive.
Absolutely. And waiting the appropriate amount of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously, when you're ready to do a peel, it's not just a matter of grabbing a peel and doing it. We need to prep our skin.
Right.
And to properly prep or prime your skin, you want to do this for a good 4 weeks, right? You want to get on a good regimen.
Right.
You want to use an acid cleanser to take the dead skin off. You want to use an antioxidant so your skin is healthy. Is that mandatory for a peel? No, but we want your skin to be healthy. An antioxidant. We want to use SPF 50 every single day, and we want you to have a retinoid in there.
Okay.
Now, if somebody is prone to hyperpigmentation, has skin that's Fitzpatrick 4 through 6, it's mandatory
Yes.
to use a melanin inhibitor.
Right.
If you have lighter skin, Fitzpatrick 1 through 3, your chances of getting PIH are much, much, much less, but you still could.
You can, yes.
So it is best practice
Right.
to use a melanin inhibitor like our Fade Bright.
Correct.
So, that's it. That's just a good regimen. Obviously, throw a moisturizer in there, but we want your skin healthy. We want your skin exfoliated. We want those retinoids so your skin's turning over quickly, so you're going to heal better when you do your peel, and we want you protected when you're going outside with things like antioxidants and SPF. Once you've done that for 4 weeks, I think people notice very quickly a transformation already in their skin.
Sure.
They're like, oh my gosh, all I've done is prep and my skin is amazing. So obviously it's important to take that picture before you even start prepping.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
But then, when we do a peel, we're all prepped. We want to stop using strong products like Serum 15 or Serum 30, tretinoin,
Fusion.
our Fusion A's.
Yes.
Now this does have Grand Active Retinoid in it.
Okay.
Now, that is the milder ester of tretinoin, but it still could cause some irritation or sensitivity for some. So you may want to stop this at least 3 or 4 days prior to your peel too. I just want to throw that in
If you're
there.
on the more sensitive side.
Yeah, some people are fine to
Right.
use it up to that date, but if you are more sensitive,
Okay.
I would stop this too at least 3-4 days if you're having any kind of sensitivities. And let's just talk real quick about prep, making sure that you're not irritated and too dry. Let's start slow, right? So I know that in the group we're talking about this constantly. It's too much. Like, we know what we want your regimen to be, but you might not be on that regimen fully even when that first month is done, because
Right.
people start a little bit too aggressively. There are a lot of acids. There's, our acid cleanser. That's going to make you dry for 1 to 2 weeks right off the bat, just that one product.
Right.
And that's just showing it's working. It's taking the dead skin off.
So the day you get your box, if you open it and start all 5 products at once,
You're going to be sorry
You're gonna
in
be sorry.
3-4 days. You're going to be dry and red and irritated, and your skin's going to be burning. So I suggest starting each product at least a few days.
Right. Makes sense.
Especially things like, the Fade Bright. Use that maybe every other day. See how that goes. Make sure you're not irritated or dry. Maybe add in the vitamin C, and don't use too much vitamin C.
Absolutely.
I keep saying like half a pea size.
Very small
And then,
amount.
mix it with a water-based serum or mix it with
Sure.
the cream to dilute it. But that's an acid. Vitamin C is an acid. That can cause irritation. It might sting a little anyways. Has a low pH level. That's normal. Fusion A any retinoid is going to cause sensitivity. I tell people, and
Right.
it even says on the Fusion A bottle, you're starting this a couple of times a week.
Right.
And then adding on a day as your skin acclimates and tolerates.
Right.
Because you can't do a peel if your skin's all irritated and dry and
Very
flaky.
true.
So you have to work your way slowly in.
And if you start applying things that don't normally sting or burn, like let's say an eye cream, and all of a sudden you're applying your Platinum Eyes, and all of a sudden it's stinging and burning, and it's not the eye cream, it's
No.
more than likely overuse of, or the retinol is a little bit too strong.
Retinol.
Yeah.
Yes, Fusion A. That they will always cause sensitivity.
dial it
like
back.
they don't ever burn when you're applying them.
Right,
But it's
yeah.
everything else later on causes
Right, and a lot of
that
times the
irritation.
customers, they think it's the cleanser, they think it's the Fade Bright, they think it's something else.
Yep.
But then when we kind of dive into what they have and what they're using, almost always the culprit is overuse of the retinoid.
Yes. Yep, I agree. So we've kind of got that covered. Like, you have to do your prep.
Yes.
Do your prep slowly, introduce the products individually,
Yeah.
slowly. Make sure you're not having issues before you add the next one in. It could be a couple weeks before you're using all products.
Right, so your prep may be longer than the 2 to 4
It
weeks.
could be.
Yeah.
It could be because we want your skin to be normal and healthy
Right.
and feeling calm and moisturized before you do that peel. So no rushing.
Right.
Take your time.
Because they're only putting themselves at risk.
Yeah.
And that's the thing when I get the phone calls or the posts on the Facebook page. It's always, most of the time they didn't want to. They were
They're excited.
Yeah,
They're excited.
They
They're
wanna
already
just- yeah.
feeling like all I want to do is the peel, and I'm doing this.
Yes.
And now
Yes,
now
and then
I'm all
they're so
irritated.
regretful afterward. They say, "Oh, I should have listened, but I was so excited and I just wanted to jump right in." And
Yeah.
so please follow the protocols.
Yes, and be gentle and take your time.
Yes. So what percent? Let's talk percentages.
Yeah.
So what do we have here?
There's a 7 up front.
Okay. So typical 7 is great for sensitive skin types.
Yeah. We always used to say, well, we didn't have the 7 a long time
Yeah.
ago. We had the 13.
I love this. I love the TCA 7.
I love the TCA 7. So 7 or 13, I always consider as first, and always 1,
Yes.
maximum 2 layers your very first time. I don't ever want somebody starting with a 20. I don't ever want you applying a 30. Just take your time, start with the lower percentage. You will get peeling with a 7. This is not like a baby peel or anything like that. This is a great peel. I love the 7 peel. It causes excellent flaking. Start with 1 to 2 layers, and okay, so what? You just got a little bit of light flaking. That's okay. Next time, you
Yeah.
can add on 1 additional layer. That is the protocol. Every time you do this peel, as long as you're not frosting all over where
Right.
the skin turns white and blanches, you can add an additional layer if you want. That's not even mandatory. Some people are perfectly content with, 2 layers of this, and they don't ever want to do more. That's kind of like me. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want excessive.
I like about 2 to 3 layers, and I will
Yeah.
add a little bit of dream peel on top.
Yes. Well, let's just talk about that real quick. You don't want to buy these and then put them both on the first time you use them.
Yeah.
You have to try everything individually. Those are advanced peel options when you're combining
Yes.
peels, Jesner and TCA and Dream Peel. Everything has to be done by itself at least once.
Just so you know how you
Yeah,
got to
check
get a
your
baseline.
allergies,
Yeah,
see
you
how
gotta
your
see how your
skin
skin's going to
responds.
react. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Once you've done them all separate, then you can start adding one on and doing more. But so, back to this 7. When you're doing 5 plus layers, because you can continue applying layers if you want, that's perfectly fine. You can work out and put 10 layers on, or you can move to the 13, your choice. Once you're doing 5 layers consistently, you can move to the next
Nice wet
percentage.
layers, waiting that full 5 minutes in between.
Yep.
All of the things. Okay.
Yeah, not dripping, not
Yes,
too dry.
yes.
If it's too dry, if you're wringing your gauze out, you're barely going to get anything, right? Because TCA works with the volume of solution you're applying. It has to use it
Right.
up. It coagulates all those proteins in the skin. And if there's a lot of liquid, it's just going to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going and keep
So you
going.
want to try to get a nice even layer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we get it wet. I like to fold it and just pitter pat with my fingertips. I'm not wringing it
Squeezing,
out.
yeah.
Pitter pat or shake
Shake is good.
to make sure
yeah.
nothing is dripping out. Once we get it there, that's perfect. That's wet, but not dripping wet. Then you can apply it. That is the perfect way. Too wet, too strong.
Okay.
Too dry, not going to get it off.
Got it.
And then you want to work your way up, 7 to 13. If you're putting 5, 6 layers of the 13 on, you can work up to 20.
Yes.
Again, always start at 1 layer, again, 2
So,
layers maximum.
Let's just say we have a customer who does 2 layers of TCA 13, and they say, oh, I didn't get hardly any peeling. They should then, their next peel, move up the ladder and apply more layers, correct?
They should definitely apply another layer, but they should also, firstly, make sure that their gauze was the proper amount of wet.
Yes, go through their
They could
application.
have been too dry. They could have,
Right. So it's not like they would immediately jump to a TCA 20.
no, and that happens.
Yes,
And
so
that's
this is
kind of what we're addressing today.
Yes.
Let's not be so aggressive.
Yeah.
Let's not be in such a hurry to have a big, deep, crazy peel.
Yes.
I don't think that's the goal ever.
I mean, it is a controlled chemical burn. Let's be real.
Let's be
this
safe.
is an acid that you're putting on your skin to purposely damage that top layer, so to force it to shed quicker, to stimulate collagen and all that.
Yep.
In a safe manner. So
Yes.
if they follow the proper protocols, we can all achieve that. But when they jump ahead, 10 steps and say, oh, I did 2 layers of 13 and I didn't get any peeling, so now I did 3 layers of 20 and I'm
Right.
a mess.
And you're right when you say you're jumping ahead 10 steps because, I mean,
Yes.
that 13 at 1 layer, 13 at 2
Right,
layers,
yes.
13 at 3 layers, at 4 layers, at 5 layers.
Yes.
Okay, like at 5 steps there.
Right.
Oh, now you just jumped to 20. We weren't even supposed to get to 1 layer at 20 yet.
No.
And you're putting on 3 layers. So now you're on like step 9
Right.
when you
Yes.
should be back here at 3 or 4. And the more layers
Yes.
equal more flaking.
Right.
So you were going to get a better peel
Right.
the next time you did it. Always stay consistent with that
You're
acid.
going to get better peeling with more layers of a lesser percent.
Yeah, and
than
it's safer.
Putting yourself at risk and jumping up to the next percentage.
Yeah, that's when things happen where, someone, let's say, starts peeling
Mm.
on day 2 and a big chunk comes off and then it's a pink area. And okay, well, what did you put on? Well, I
Jeez.
put a TCA 20, 3 layers. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Right.
that is just too strong.
Right.
I don't even really know many people that work up to that. People
No.
that are doing peels and they're just doing them as a lifelong journey for their skin. I don't think they're in any kind of race to
Right.
get to that 20 and be putting multiple layers. I think the people that do this for the longest amount of time,
Yeah.
they're usually somewhere in 13, maybe 3, 4 layers.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not
They'll
trying
progress,
to take
they'll
everything
add the dream
off.
peel. They'll,
Yes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Dream peel is an excellent way to get more aggressive peel without,
Right.
going too far with the percentages.
One other thing I think we should talk about is post-peel.
Yep.
A lot of times they will do something aggressive and they're seeing more peeling and they're like, oh, I have a wedding on Saturday. I need to peel this off now. So
But
they
you
try-
can't.
Oh,
Well, that's too bad. You shouldn't have done this peel.
Right.
If you have an event coming up in any time less than 2 or 3 weeks,
Right.
I don't feel like you should do it. If someone's like, I have 8 days, don't do it.
do not force that skin to come off
Do not do it.
prematurely because it was going to look so angry underneath
Yep.
and red, and you're going to have all
It
kinds
could
of
be
other...
oozing.
Ugh.
There's no covering that
No.
up.
No.
And you're going to look terrible.
Yeah, it's
for that
really
day.
not good. So
No.
really just let that skin stay on as long as it can. Keep it hydrated, follow the protocols and don't force things to happen quicker.
No.
Your skin's going to it's going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks before you look lovely
Perfect
again.
Yeah. 3 to 5 days
Yeah.
to start flaking.
It'll dry after and
Yep, and another 3 to 5 days to finish. That's 6 days,
Yeah.
which would be very short.
For sure.
To 10 days. And I talk to people and see people, and even myself, I've gone past 10
Oh,
days.
for sure.
All around the hairline or a couple little dry spots that
Yeah.
are just lingering. Okay, well, that's when you get like the Dermazyme enzyme
Sure.
mask.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, don't be scared to use a washcloth. I tell people that once you've really been flaking good,
Right.
you can use a washcloth. Let
Yeah.
that washcloth get some of that dead skin off.
Yeah, that's where most of
Don't be peeling it.
Yeah, that's where most of it's
Wash.
going to exfoliate is when you're cleansing,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
For sure.
And then let's talk about post care.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple things. There's when you have your acid and your peel is done and you've rinsed it off, it's a special miracle time where you can put some products on, maybe some peptides, your Fade Bright. You can put some things on, and it's just a magical time. It's going to penetrate lovely.
Right.
And then you put your healing products on top. Generally, that first day is kind of it. And then your skin starts to dry and tighten, and it feels almost kind of like thick. And, it's going to peel in a few days.
Sure.
Now, everything isn't going to penetrate well.
No.
Now, we used to kind of say you could continue applying Fade Bright at this time.
Right.
But I think we're finding that people are just doing this like far too aggressively. They're putting it on every single day, and then it's causing irritation.
Yeah. And it's not penetrating through that plasticky type of layer.
Day one,
causing irritation.
as long as it's not irritating you, you can apply it. Day two, I suppose if it's not irritating you, you can apply it, but I don't think most people are going to.
Right.
I think we just want you to concentrate after that first day with all your healing products. Emo oil, healing oil, PDRN, things like that, epidermal growth factors, hyaluronic, lots of things like that, soothing, calming, healing, regenerating type things. Don't go crazy. Don't put on any acids. Don't put on tretinoin.
Right.
No serum 15, nothing like that. You can use your cleansers as long as they don't bother you.
We do have 2 peel boosters. We touch base on the Dream Peel
Dream
a little
Peel,
bit.
Luminosity. Yes, so
one time only for the Dream Peel. That's another thing.
Yes, if you were to wash your peel off, or in the case of Jesner, let's say it's still on your face, you can put your Dream Peel on, leave that on for 6 hours or so. Wash it off. If you have luminosity, that can be applied every day because we're trying to encourage excess dryness, excess peeling with that. So you can put that on once per day until your skin starts to flake. So you might get 3-4 days out of that. That's it. And you could still put your healing oils right on top of the luminosity.
Right.
And that's only going to go on like TCA and Jesner. So let's say we're doing our mild peels, glycolic, mandelic, salicylic, lactic. I mean, we're not putting anything else.
You don't need a peel booster because they're formulated not to really see visible peeling.
No.
Yeah, so that's kind of the beauty of that peel, is there is no downtime.
Exactly.
So it doesn't make sense to put a peel booster on something that's not really intended to peel.
And it's just going to irritate your skin.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
you're only targeting that upper layer with those acids.
I get that question a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessary. You don't want to put a Dream Peel on top of mandelic. You don't want to put luminosity on top of mandelic or glycolic.
Right. Yeah.
They're just going to cause irritation. You're better off just putting your healing products, letting that gently, lightly slough off over the next, 5 days, because that's a little quicker peel for most people.
And most importantly, they need to wait the appropriate amount of time to do their next peel.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at the guidelines in the peel manual. Those are there, and they're very important.
Yeah, you don't have to memorize them. They're there. Go to the mandelic section. It will tell you.
Yes.
5 minutes this time, 10 minutes next time, and you can do another peel in, within 1 to 2 weeks.
Right.
That just made me think of something. There is always a question, if I'm doing a peel every week, well, how can I use my retinoids?
Yeah.
Well, you really couldn't, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have any time if you've got to stop them for, 4 days prior to your peel. So the best thing to do is to do a peel every other week, right? So if we're doing, let's say we do our mandelic 40 this week, you're going to peel for maybe, have a little bit of dryness.
Sure.
Let's say 3 to 5, 6 days, you're done. Okay, well, now you can start using your products again. So start using your retinoid for a couple of days. You get 2-3 days out of that. And then you're going to need to stop before you do your next peel. So that's the best way to do it. So you're at least getting probably about 3 days of application. Then you're going to stop. Then your peel's going to happen. And you start up again. So do every other week. I just thought that might be another.
Yeah, I have.
That's a common one.
Yeah, common question. And then you get people on both sides of the fence. People that have very, hardy skin who
they do it right up till
like they stop their retinoids maybe the day before,
I could do that,
a day
honestly.
or two later, start right back up with no issues.
Yep.
But then you have somebody on the other end of the spectrum that has more sensitive skin, and you're better off alternating. Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that's. Can you think of anything else?
Those are. I mean, that was a good one
those
at
are
the
the
end
biggies.
there. Yeah, that was the big one. And then the Dream Peel, one time only. I had a client email, and she did a TCA of some sort, and then didn't think she had a lot of peelings, and then did the peel the next day again, and then put Dream Peel on, and then put Dream Peel on for 2 more days after that. And now her skin is super wrinkly, and
Oh, boy.
it's going to exfoliate, but it's just really irritating to the skin.
The
You
peel
don't
goes
need
on
it.
one time. It's a one-time peel event.
Yes.
If your acids aren't going on at this particular minutes
Yeah, yeah.
apart, no, it can't go on the
Yeah.
next day. No, it can't go in any other time. Today is peel day. This hour
Yes.
that we're doing our peel.
Yes.
And once that time frame is gone,
Yes.
we're all done.
And I think where the confusion comes into play with the Dream Peel a little bit is because you can do that as a standalone peel.
It is a standalone peel.
You can do it 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days.
Yep.
So I think they kind of combine that somehow with the peel booster, but no, it's two separate applications.
Correct.
So yeah, if you're going to do it on its own,
And follow your manual because the
Yes.
manual does tell
Yeah.
you this. It
Yes.
says you have 2 options.
yes,
If you do Dream Peel, 1 time only. Or luminosity can be done,
Right.
3 to 5 days.
Sure.
And then it says you cannot
Yes.
apply luminosity if you did Dream Peel.
Right.
Like that's it. Always read the manual. Everything is in the manual. Everything is addressed in the manual.
Absolutely.
Prep, post care, times, everything is there.
yes.
There's no need to remember it. Don't even ask anybody. Just open your manual.
Right.
It's right there.
And the Dream Peel has a nice card in there and shows you everything
Yep.
that you need to know, and
Yep.
basically follow the instructions.
Yep.
You don't have to do 3 days. Start with 1 or 2.
Start with 1 day.
Yeah, and on your neck, mix it. Follow the directions.
Mix it or don't put it on at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because the neck and décolleté is so sensitive.
It's got a delayed reaction to it. So a lot of times they
3 days,
will put it on
maybe
for
more.
that first day and go, oh, I felt absolutely nothing. And then they do it the next day, and then they do it the 3rd day, and then by the 5th day, everything burns. when you're-
Everything
yeah.
burns. I have my face on fire. Yeah.
Yes.
It would be like that too if you would have just done it 2 days.
Yes, you'll get great results. Start with 1 to 2 days, and then
Yeah.
you got to get a baseline. How is your skin going to react?
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Good. I think we've covered a lot of things.
I think we did. With all our faux pas and
Yes.
how-tos.
Platinum protocols. Follow them.
Follow it.